Hi guys, welcome back. It's Tam again. The guys from Cigarsindia.in, the largest and trusted online cigar retailer in India, have asked me to review the Hoyo de Monterrey Epicure No. 2, and boy, I'm going to enjoy this one. It's a Robusto size. It's 50 ring gauge, and it's about 4 7/8 inches in length. The ring gauge denotes the girth of the cigar. So it's, you could say, a Robusto, and it's going to be an interesting smoke. You just start by lighting it, cutting it, lighting it, and giving you an idea about my experience. The Hoyo range was actually, it was founded before the revolution, actually, before the Cuban Revolution, by a guy called, not by a guy, by a man called Don Jose Guerner y Batel, a Spanish emigre who moved to Cuba in 1831. He was 13 at that time, and he worked at his uncle's plantation in the Hoyo range, which is, if you know the history of cigars in Cuba, is one of the best ranges in Cuba. So that's lit. If I could just cut it and light it, just bear with me. In Spanish, Hoyo means whole, and the translation for Hoyo de Monterrey would be whole of the Monterrey, whole of the Monterrey, and it's recognized internationally as one of the best tobacco grain regions in Cuba. And if you believe that and understand that, then probably the world as well. So this is lit. Just again, torch it up again. During this time, he had many ups and downs, but they were mainly on the up. Unfortunately, during the 1930s, the company took a bit of a dip in luck and finances, and they tended to concentrate more on their sugar plantations rather than the tobacco range. So at a later stage they had to sell the brand and all the other brands associated with the company during this time, 1931, and that was taken over. As a brand, they're responsible for quite a sizable element of export of their cigars globally. In 2001 it was about 4.6% of the Habanos range, so they're quite large. And they certainly appeal to cigar smokers around the world, whether they're intermediate to seasoned smokers. Now, going to the character of the smoke, it's generally been known to be soft, sweet, a soft, sweet style, with a blend of creamy and sweet, mild, aromatic flavors and characters in the smoke. Doesn't need much aging and tastes brilliant new. And I'm certainly finding that with this. Now, I've just lit it and just letting it settle in a bit. First thing is, the draw is beautiful, the construction is beautiful, and once again the guys at Cigarsindia.in have done a brilliant job of aging it, keeping it perfect. Not plugged at all, not dry at all. Remarkable. The first characteristics I'm getting from this smoke are woody flavor with a medium tobacco character and some element of spice, but the medium tobacco and the woody note is certainly there. There's no harsh aftertaste to it. Having said that, it doesn't linger very long in the mouth either. Yeah, very woody. I'll let it settle some more and get back to you at the next stage. Some reviewers have said that it has a creamy element to this smoke, but I'm having some difficulty finding that. If by creaminess it could be described as also smooth, then that definitely so in abundance. It's a very smooth smoke. There's no spiciness, and there is a hint of sort of roast ground nuts as well. There's an earthy quality to that. I think that relates to that woody kind of quality, but again, don't take this the wrong way. When I say some cigar is green or vegetal in taste, there are problems with either aging or keeping it. This has got nothing to do with that. This is the character of the cigar itself, and in no way detracts from the flavor of it. So it's not spicy, it's kind of earthy, it's got some kind of ground nut feel to it, it's definitely smooth, and it's a very good smoke. Doing some research on this, I was told that they'd actually changed the blend in the mid or early 1990s, and the earlier varieties were actually more complex and smoother and creamier, and the newer varieties were less so. This was around 2000 mark, 2001, that these critiques, you could say, came about the cigar. But I think they just needed a period where they had to rest and just age and develop naturally. And I think I came back, the first time I smoked this again, I smoked this around 1997, and then I started again in about 2008, 2009, maybe even 2010, and I found them to be exceptional. I don't think they're bland, I think they're quite rich, but focused. They may not offer the varieties and experiences you may find on other cigars, focused on that woody, earthy kind of quality, but no way overpowering, say, like a Bolivar, and certainly not spicy like a Ramon Iones. And the pungency is not there, you would find, as you would find in, say, a Partagas. This, truly, it would be a medium-bodied smoke in that respect. It offers a bit of everything, but focused on the earthy, woody quality of the smoke. This cigar should generally be aged for some time. Again, either if you buy it from a vendor, say Cigarsindia.in, try and get as old vintage as possible. Generally the view is that it should be about 3 to 5 years. It's definitely smooth. Haven't detected the creamy quality to it yet, but I'll persevere. So I'll end now and get back to you if there's any change in the smoke. This is drawn beautifully. I just got a whiff and aroma of Bonvita, or some toasted kind of Bonvita or malt drink. It just went through, it was more the nose rather than the palate, but it settled down really nicely, and there is some creamy element to it, I'd say, but more than anything else, it's just the smoothness of the draw that may be contributing to that factor of creaminess. There is a slight sweetness I can detect. As I said, something like a malt drink that you'd have with with your milk in the night before going to sleep, if you're that way inclined. Something like a Bornvita or a Milo or something. But on top of that, you have the burnt, toasted. Actually, burnt is the wrong word. Toasty kind of aroma and taste to the smoke. So perhaps a smoke just before tucking yourself into bed and going to sleep. That presence of that toasted wood from the start to the finish, even to this stage, is quite remarkable. It's certainly easy on the palate as well. There are no harsh overtones or undertones to it. There's no pepperiness which may spike at some point when you're puffing away on this. It's just a nice mellow smoke, actually. I'll get back to you again in a short while. Hi guys, I'm back again. There were some subtle flavors which I just had to step out of the humidor to actually check out the subtle flavors coming through this. And I would highly recommend you actually, if the environment gets too smoky, you've had too many cigars, this is a cigar which actually makes you work to and challenges you to actually identify the characters. It's a very subtle smoke. So we just stepped out for a short while, had a puff or two outside in a nice cool Bangalore air, and just inhaled some of the smoke, and I could detect, or we could detect, the sweetness coming through. That sweet quality is there in abundance, but it needs a nice neutral kind of atmosphere to enjoy it. So I don't say it's a heavy smoke. It's not robust in that sense where it can take anything and everything you have to throw at it, whether it's a smoky, dusty or polluted environment. It needs some subtlety, and I think that's what it is. It's a very subtle smoke. That creaminess comes in abundance when I was outside, and that sweetness also comes through on the aroma, and then of course I detected it on the palate thereafter. The draw is still brilliant on this. That woody character is still there, that toasty woody character is still there, but tempered with sweetness and a creamy quality as well. Unlike the previous cigars I've reviewed, where they tend to get stronger towards the end because of the oils and the residual carbonized particles in the tobacco, this doesn't offer that. It's still a delicate smoke even at this size. So to sum up, this is a medium-bodied cigar, has woody character, toasted woody character to it, and if you have the right environment, it does demonstrate the creamy quality it has, and also that sweetness. As I said, a malty kind of sweetness, but everything associated with it is earthy or earthbound. There's no stringent spices or anything that spikes which you would immediately recognize. You actually actively have to explore this and just get those taste buds registered with the flavors and synced with your database of taste experiences that you've had. picked up a bit now. It's just a tiny bit spicier, but it's only marginal. So I think these are the predominant qualities of the smoke. It's a good size. The draw is always perfect on this. Amazing draw. Smooth, creamy, sweet, that woody, toasty quality, and with a hint of sweetness underlying all that. The only thing I would suggest is you give it the respect it deserves, otherwise you're not going to enjoy it. If it's in a smoky atmosphere, you're certainly not going to pick up those subtle nuances in the smoke. Price point, again, I think it was... the price point on this beauty is 950 rupees. What can I say? You can't go wrong with this. When I initially said novice smokers should have certain types, maybe you could include this, novice to intermediate, because it certainly does make you work to identify the characters coming from the cigar, but it certainly delivers those. Just a wonderful smoke. So I think I'll end this by saying, if you liked this review of the cigar, please give it a like on YouTube, and the guys are also on Twitter and Facebook. Please give a like or give your comments on this, and hopefully we'll see you back once again at Cigarsindia.in. We'll review some other cigars.